All right, testing my sound. Can you hear me? Bill, you've got to answer. You're the only one on so far. Let's see here. Can you hear me? Okay, I think we're good. So I can't see comments just yet. Tech is awesome. Okay, here we go. Good. All right, so I'm going to get started. I know I kind of threw this together last minute. Didn't expect too many people to jump on, but I am on live. And yeah, well, I think you cannot hear me, right, Train? Oh, well, it's the slides. Apparently, I can't get my camera working, so it's going to be just the slide showing. So what's the context of this? Well, you may have seen my post on Monday where I announced that 31 people, homeless people, were getting a hearty breakfast thanks to your donations for this challenge. So thanks to all of you for participating. This made a world of difference for me. This is part of why I do what I do, to help people. So this was another way to go about it, and I went down there this week. So thank you. What we're talking about today. We've got 3 steps to prevent weight rebounds, right? That's probably the biggest problem I see with clients that stop working with me or get a ton of results just on their own is it tends not to stick around, right? Majority of people gain most of the weight back. You even look at that study done on contestants of The Biggest Loser. 9 out of 10 of them had regained the weight they actually had before the show started because their extreme dieting was not sustainable once they returned to their normal lifestyles. No vid. Well, it's supposed to be slides, guys. I tried to do a window-in-window, and it was too high-tech, so it's just my slides showing up. So you should be able to see a girl on a scale with some bullet points next to it. And as far as I could tell, that should be showing up. Good, bad. Hope for the best. So another thing people wanted was to discuss supplements and myths and truths of fitness. So that's all going to be discussed. And again, at the end, opportunity to continue on with me. All right. So step 1, avoiding weight rebounds, is to have clear focus, right? Clear focus, I mean 90-day goals. That tends to be a realistic window, and it sets a target. So it's a little hokey, but you know my man Bob Proctor always says, thoughts become things. So if you have a negative mindset about being fat or bad genetics for losing weight, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? So you have to get around that, believe you can achieve what you want to achieve, and have a picture in mind of what that ideal physique or person is that you want to be, right? Simple enough. So I'll put down my chakras and my meditation tools here and move on. But I do think this is one part of an important piece to this. So the second piece is to give yourself constant reminders of your goal, right? So it doesn't have to just be a weight number on the scale. It could be something a little deeper than that. But I find when I was, I'm watching the Jets and they almost scored. Sorry for that. When I was trying to diet down for a Vegas trip, 210 pounds was the target by December 15th. And sure enough, I stepped on the scale in Vegas at 209.4. Oh, I didn't add the picture here. You have to take my word for it. So those weekly reminders can help. Fitting clothes is a good one too, Train. There's definitely more to this than scale weight, but I find the scale is just something measurable that, as long as you have enough weight to lose, it's a pretty accurate tool overall. So third, more Bob Proctor here. You need to act like the person you want to become, right? So look in the mirror, get a little crazy, and repeat your goal. Yes, do it in a video, actually, and post on Facebook. You got the balls to do it. So enough mindset stuff. Step 2 is to establish a new body weight set point. This is actually more crucial than anything because I find a lot of people will diet aggressively, lose 20 pounds or so, and then feel like, hey, I won. I got to the end of my diet, and they completely abandon what got them there, and their weight spikes back up just as quickly as it came off, right? So how do you do that? Well, this set point theory is why a lot of people have, if they've been 220, 230 for the majority of their life, then their body wants to stay that way, right? It's comfortable there. It sees any dieting as a perceived threat to its survival. So it likes to push back up to that number, whatever that is for you. The weight that you always seem to struggle with to get past, right? Everyone has this number. For some, it works the other way. They're trying to add weight and their body pulls them back down, which is for those skinny bastards that I'm jealous of. Most of you are not in that group. Go Calgary. Oh my gosh. Not playing them luckily tonight, but that's a good one. So I talked about this, right? The honeymoon phase of dieting, where it seems like the weight comes off each and every week, right? Especially if you've got 50 plus pounds to lose. But eventually you're going to have to hit the marriage phase, right? Whoa, I've got a touchscreen computer, I just realized. I tapped it and went back to the other slide. That's high tech. So the marriage phase, I'm not going to actually put my finger on the screen. This is where you're trying to maintain that new body weight set point, right? So you want to maintain that for a couple months, then drop down again, right? So this study, you may have seen me post about this. I wrote an email on it, where the group that had these periodic diet breaks, in fact, a little too frequently, I think, in this case, but every 2 weeks, they raise their calories back up to maintenance, and they end up losing 50% more fat than the group that just kept dieting hard for 16 weeks, right? So, of course, that's not an all-out binge where you abandon your diet completely, but it's baseline calories, right? A little bit more than you're eating to lose weight each week. So ideally, after those 2 weeks, you're about the same weight you went into it. Then you're doing the right thing, right? And your energy, heckler, I like it. Nice. So resting energy doesn't drop as much when you take these little breaks. So here's how you break it down, right? So you go into a honeymoon phase of dieting, lose 1% per week of your body weight, maybe 2% if you got lots of weight to lose. And by the end of that diet phase, whatever it is, 3 months potentially, you've lost 10, 20%, and then you're trying to maintain for a period of 1 month, maybe 2 weeks, if you got a aggressive timeline in mind. Okay, so that last point there, number 3, dieting phase, maintenance phase, right? The marriage phase, then repeated dieting phase again until you reach your goal. So what I like to do is put a client on a hard 12-week diet, get a lot of results, typically lose 20 or so pounds, and then take a little diet break where they're, doubling up on their carb portions here and there, not training quite as hard in the gym. And then once those 2 weeks have passed, within a week of that ending, you're back to square one where you came into the diet break at, and the Jets scored. Yeah. Where was I? Yes. So diet breaks, important. Boom, boom, boom. Same BMI, right? This guy on the left can actually eat just as much as the guy on the right. Obviously, the composition of his food is different. He's training. He's eating probably more protein, healthier foods. But calories being equal, they could eat the same amount and maintain their weight, essentially, right? That's what I'm getting at here. So you want to be the guy on the left, obviously. All right. So the third step I find is the hardest, and that is to commit to a program long enough to get permanent results, right? Typically, you need, you're human. You've got a life, obstacles thrown in your way, injuries, right, Train? Family, obligations, commitments, emergencies. All this stuff can pull you away from the ideal plan. But I find if you've got something forcing you to continue to do it, you will, right? So one case, the Blackmail Diet, old school book. The author put, $5,000 in escrow with a lawyer who, if he didn't, I think it was 70 pounds he wanted to lose. It says in the fine print there, 70 pounds he wanted to lose by the end of the year. And if he failed, this lawyer would gift the money to the American Nazi Party. And he wasn't a white supremacist, so he did not want this money going there. So that was his commitment to see this diet through till the end. And obviously $5,000 was riding on it, so it was quite a strong reverse bet in this case, right? So what's your forcing function, right? For some, invest in a program. Even myself sometimes, I get a lot of support from the Emancipation group myself. That's been a big difference maker for me. But the odd time I still invest in a coach, even though I know what to do, but it's that financial investment, time investment, have someone else doing the heavy lifting, heavy thinking for me is actually kind of a relief, because I plan 30 workout and diets for other people at the same time. So to do my own is a challenge. So that's one option. The reverse bet, like the author of that book, is something that you're going to lose, because losing things are twice as hard on us than potential gains, right? So you've got to put something on the line if you don't reach your goal. And I don't know, I can't really put words in your mouth on that one. You have to determine what is important to you that you'll have to give up if you don't make your goal, but have something there for you that forces action, right? And I like, the third part is community. I mean, we all like to be, we're all isolated nowadays, right? Social media is out there, but often we are in our little silos texting other people, and being part of a community where we have others kind of supporting us, calling us out when needed. That's a pretty powerful tool as well, because if it's only you in the fight, you're going to quit when you face some resistance likely, right? Can't get enough of Train's comments. You're the only one commenting. I have no choice, Train. Keep it coming. So we're going to move on to myths, right? So hopefully you're taking notes. No, you don't have to. I'll post the replay in the group. Fitness myths. So I'm only going to go into a few here tonight. The first one is starvation mode, right? We've all been told to eat every 3 hours or our muscles will evaporate. And certainly I believe that for years as well. But it's just, the science doesn't back it up. In fact, your metabolism increases during short-term fasting because it has to dig into your fat stores for energy. So it's working harder than it would be if there was food present. Simple enough? All right. So number 2. Oh, actually, we're still on the first one. My headline was wrong. I never was very good in school. So I'm not suggesting you eat one meal. I don't think it's optimal. But in this case, 1 meal compared to 3, the group that ate 1 meal actually lost more fat, right? Because they were fasting for longer periods. That is one important tool. As you guys know, being in this challenge, fasting is good. Train is so supportive. So the only caveat with fasting is not to go right into a workout after like a 20-hour fast. You're going to put yourself in a dehydrated state, not have a very good workout, burn out after 4 reps, and potentially injure yourself. So I like to have you have fasts on non-workout days or have a good quality meal before your workout, right? So I always have to mention that because some people seem to miss that one. All right, eating too little, right? This is the other one. I've had people say, but I'm not eating enough, right? That's why I can't lose weight. And that's just not accurate. If you're gaining weight, it's probably because you're eating too much. Unless you've got a serious hormonal issue, thyroid, potentially testosterone. Likely for the majority of people, it comes down to how much you eat, right? So myth 3, finally we moved on to another myth. Like fasting, people think fasting is going to just rape them of energy. Rape them. That was a bad word to use these days, right? For one reason, that is wrong. Fasting, once you get adapted to it, can actually really be a mental energy boost because of BDNF, right? This is superfood for your brain. They've scanned brains after exercise, after fasting, and it's just lit up with activity, right? So all these good bullet points I've given here are the benefits of BDNF, which comes from fasting, comes from exercise, certainly comes from cardio. But this supercalifragilisticexpialidocious combination for BDNF. Yes, I'm going to patent that. Is fasted cardio and then prolonging your fast after the cardio session, right? It's getting feisty in the hockey game. So if you're still with me, give me a hell yeah. Hopefully Train can still give me a hell yeah, even though he's been heckling me half this time. Still waiting. Still waiting, Train. Uh-oh. I seem to have lost my video. Okay, I'm back. There it is. Hell yeah. All right, so that is the myths. Now we're moving on to supplements, right? Another 5 minutes. Keep on with me here. So with this, I'm only going to go into fat loss supplements today. In the group, I'll kind of dig deeper into, there's health supplements that I use, performance supplements, but I try to keep it simple as well. I only go to stuff that actually has some solid research behind it. So before you buy a supplement, go to examine.com, search out that supplement. It will show you every study broken down to whether or not it has merit, because the marketing on a lot of the stuff is based on one shitty study or it's just made up, right? So this site is completely unbiased. Very good resource to look things up. So this is one I had no experience with, to be honest with you, but a lot of people I trust in the industry swear by it for general health, anti-aging, and certainly if you have high blood sugar, metformin's a good one to look into. So it does require a prescription, but obviously there's online pharmacies, but I wouldn't recommend those. If you can get a subscription, that's the ideal. The alternative is berberine, which you can buy anywhere. It works along the same pathways. It usually is more expensive. But this is kind of a last resort thing, I find, unless you've got seriously high blood sugar, pre-diabetic or diabetic, worth looking into. This is another one I have no experience with, but I see it peddled a lot, and it's if you've had a blood test and found your thyroid to be low, when you diet, your thyroid levels just naturally go down, right? You might feel a little colder at times of the day. So this is one way to elevate your important fat-burning hormones, your thyroid production. So you can buy this anywhere. I wouldn't run it year-round, but certainly in a heavy diet, worth looking into again. Another one that's a little controversial, right? If you've got an addiction to cigarettes or you previously quit, don't jump on this one. That's my word of caution. But because of how it's administered, it's a slow drip, right? From gum, it's a very low dose. They found you don't generally get addicted to it in gum form or nasal spray. It's the huge hit you get from cigarettes that is highly addicting. So this is one, Psycho, there you go. This is one I like when I'm in a highly aggressive diet at the later stages and I'm hungry all the time. It helps suppress that. So I don't use it year-round, but certainly it has benefits. Good enough? All right, what's next, right? So the guys in the Transformation group are going to get this thrown at them shortly. My New Year's Revolution program. So I'm opening up to a few guys in the group as well who are interested. So January 9th, you're going to get, you were a dip guy. That's right, Trey. 5 days clean, yikes. I shouldn't have mentioned that slide. I should have had a tin just to taunt you a bit in the slide. So what is the New Year's revolution? Well, it has nothing to do with resolutions because most of the time those fail, right? If you look at this chart, I believe this is an accurate stat, but 92% of resolutions do not succeed. More money out. Yeah, stuff is expensive. Gum isn't too bad because it lasts forever. So here we go, right? You start January 1st, super motivated. Week 1, we're doing good. January 31st, right? Oh, the gym isn't sure. This diet sucks. Usually the person is just trying too hard at that point. They have gone from 0 to 60, and it's bound to fail. And that's what happens, right? By year 1, there's one man left standing, which is you, if you join my resolution program, right? So essentially, it's a lot of what you've been introduced to in this group, right? Workouts in the app. We're going to actually tone down the workouts just slightly, working more towards using carbs to build up muscle. So less fat loss, really driven hard workouts circuit-wise, right? This is more hypertrophy workouts. But they're built around fat loss. And the meal plans are simple, fast, and efficient, right? You guys may know Steven, who was in, this is a 3-month difference, his picture. Obviously a heavier set guy, lost a lot of weight. Is he a beach body now? No. But he's come a long, long way. And then there's Jake, who trains in person with me. So this, you're looking at more than a year apart here. I mean, it's impressive, certainly. But that was working with me 3 times a week in the gym, plus nutrition coaching. But certainly you can get similar results by committing to a plan long term, right? So I don't often get excited about this stuff, but I've been working on this for a few weeks, and I'm ready to launch it. I think we're going to get great results. Personally, I'm going to do all the workouts and training myself as well. Some potential side effects for the guys who are in the group. Having to buy a new wardrobe. That's always cool. Having to memorize a fake number, especially if you're a married man, to give out to people who find you irresistible. And then getting free shit just because you're good looking and carry yourself with confidence. Yes, I'm being a little facetious here, but that's what I'm all about. Making you have to give out fake numbers because you're irresistible. That is the goal. That is the goal. Trey, I think I had more carbs in me when I was doing these workouts because they're not nearly as intense as the December ones, but I think they're more effective in some ways. So here's the plan in a nutshell. All these lovely bullet points that you probably can't see on your screen because it's tiny. But essentially, workouts that are going to have you in the gym less than 45 minutes, right? I don't do workouts that last longer than that, so why would I subject you guys to that? You don't need it if you're effective. We're going to track your weight, your measurements, give you those fat-burning meal plans with plenty of carbs in them. And then we've got we usually do prizes, team you up with a man's former Thunder buddy. Of course, you've got access to the group. Lots of fun stuff here. But if all this did was help you get rid of the gut and improve every aspect of your lifestyle, would it be worth it, right? That's the question I ask people often when I talk to them about my coaching. If they've been stuck in this merry-go-round and still have that gut and have kind of struggled with programs here and there, then it's a no-brainer, right? And that's essentially what I'm getting at, is helping as many people as possible fast-track their results, stop going in circles. So I do have a bonus for you. This also applies to the guys in Mansformation. If you refer someone to the New Year's program in the group, anything in my store, which is brand new again, I've switched providers because the last one sucked. Anything in the store is yours. If you want a sexy apron, yes, I said sexy, it can be had for yours. If you join the group or if you're already a member and refer someone. Simple enough. I hear you, Clive. I know it will be worth it. So, bonus gift. There's more at the store. You pick what you want, and I will pay for the shipping and handling and send it off to you. Cover the cost as well, obviously. So that's the bonus, any item from the merchandise store. But also people who join, this also applies to Mansformers. I'm opening up some spots on my calendar next week. Over the holidays, I got some time off for coaching calls. So these will be 15-minute quick hitters just to kind of dig deep into the biggest issues you're dealing with in your own fitness, and we'll address them. We'll find solutions for you, right? That's essentially the other bonus that's free of charge if and when you join in to the program, right? So 2 options: fully customized 90-day plan, which, I mean, I build out a diet specific for you, right? Or there's the Mansformation group coaching, which is a little more generalized, but I find works pretty well. As you can tell, Steven was in that, and he lost 50 pounds in a short amount of time. So if you're committed, if you're kind of a self-starter who can get to the gym on your own, then certainly the group coaching will work for you. And it runs you about the cost of a Tim Hortons coffee a day, a small Tim Hortons coffee, no less, before tax. So simple. End of the slideshow. That is it, guys. What else? Can you see my screen? I guess I can't, unfortunately, bring up my mug. But I'll drop the link to hop into the program. Let's see if I have it here. I'm so well organized, right? You're laughing at me. Here we go on Google. Website. I don't know the page. I'm so smart. Here we go. I think this is it. Sure. He's crying. That's the link. I know a few of you guys, certainly Clive, looked interested. So that's it for the challenge. Hopefully everyone weighs in before next Monday, because that is the end date. But you may want to weigh in before Friday, because the Christmas festivities could get the best of you at the end of this. So Bill is in. Bill is hyper. Bill has a hernia and he's still kicking ass. I love it. All right, guys. We'll see you in the group. Any questions, private message me on good old Facebook, and we'll address them there. It's been a pleasure having you in. Thanks again for your contributions to Siloam Mission Homeless Shelter. Fed 31 people. If nothing else, that is awesome. So appreciate your time. Hopefully you gained some things. Vince enjoyed the comments. Glad Vince chimed in just at the end. I love it. We'll see you guys soon.